What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm your boy Narik Chase, and in this video we're going to be talking about another edition of the head-to-head where we're going to be comparing the T-800 to the T-1000 to the T-X. Now, for those who don't know, I love the Terminator franchise despite many of the complaints that's been going toward it. And the last two movies honestly did suck. Now we do have Dark Fate that is coming out soon. I just wanted to go ahead and talk about this, and then I'll probably pair up and talk about that other one, this Dark Fate film, later on. But having said that, let's go ahead and jump into this edition of Head to Head, guys. Alright, the T-800 is the Arnold Schwarzenegger model that we see in the first Terminator film that came out in the 80s. Then in the 90s, we saw Robert Patrick come in as the main antagonist, as the T-1000. And then in the 2000s, of course, we saw Kristanna Loken, who played the T-X. Now, each one of these models have really interesting characteristics, have really interesting personalities, as best personality you can, robot, but they really do some pretty cool stuff. And as the main antagonist, we're going to go ahead and break these bad boys down. Now, in terms of the T-800 model, basically his presence was it was his presence that made him such a really cool character. Sister Chase up in there, making funny noises. Don't know if they picked it up, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it in there. But anyways, in terms of the actual character, the T-800 was really cool. Very serious, very just really like menacing presence to him. When he came into the room, people felt very uncomfortable around him. Didn't really talk much, didn't really show emotion, just a straight on full bad guy. So that would make him pretty cool as well. That one made him pretty cool and pretty menacing as a character as well. Now, we do have the T-1000 model, which I thought was actually pretty cool. And a lot of it has to do with the more emotional aspects of the character, because in this one, he's menacing, but he's menacing for different reasons. Also, let's get into it now. When I say he is a menacing, I mean as in the fact that he's more of, he felt more, what's the word? He felt more manipulative in that aspect. Because when you think about it, Robert Patrick's T-1000 portrayed a cop, whereas the T-800 was this really bad boy biker type. And even biker types do have like this really, what you would feel sometimes is a more intimidating presence, which he did carry out pretty well. But Robert Patrick did a great job because he was a cop, and a cop you're supposed to feel safe around, you're supposed to feel secured around. You know, you're supposed to, you know, be relaxed around because you expect him to protect you. And then, you know, he gives this really false, very effective false sense of security where you sit there and trust him, he comes after you. So that was really cool. And then he's not big like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger is. But he does still manage to have this really cool presence to it. It's a really menacing presence. I mean, look at the picture that's right here. That moment where he's like wagging his finger, it's just awesome. So I like him because of how he came off as the cop, and at the same time, you know, he had a bit more emotion to him when he's talking to people. He's smiling and stuff. He's showing empathy and all that. Then when he needs to go into his Terminator mode, he's completely cold. Completely ruthless, just like the T-800. Awesome moments in the film as well. Now let's go on to the T-X. Now the T-X I thought was actually pretty cool too, and you know, did she have a lot to some pretty big shoes to fill when she's sitting here trying to be a Terminator like Arnold Schwarzenegger, T-800, you got Robert Patrick, the T-1000. Does she actually fit the bill? I think she does, actually. She was very, she had moments where she was really serious. She had some interesting moments where she was pretty menacing as a character, and I really liked that. I would have liked to see more manipulative aspects to the character, where she's a woman and she used that feminine wiles to kind of infiltrate places, because in the first, the T-800, you know, he was going after Sarah Connor, the T-1000 after John Connor, and then the T-X was after John Connor, but at the same time, she was going after his lieutenant. So it's been pretty cool to actually see her do a bit of manipulation. There is one sequence in the film where she ends up going to this party, and party with teenagers, and she kills the boy that's there. But I would have liked to have it been somebody else came to the door, like a friend of his, and then she just used like her feminine wiles to move herself into the party, meet these different people, and then she meets the boy that she's going after, and it just goes a complete Terminator. Don't really get that moment in the film. I mean, and then there was the moment with the cop, but she was really more as far as her character's personality was, she felt like a mix between the T-800 and the T-1000, the overall character, because in some moments, she feels like she doesn't have emotion, but she has more emotion. She doesn't have as much emotion as the T-1000, doesn't show that as much emotion as the T-1000, but she doesn't. But she shows more emotion than the T-800. So, in terms of the actual character, I think all of them did a great job of being completely menacing. But if you want to go for like scary factor, I would say the T-800 was the most scariest of them all. The most badass presence, very intimidating, just all around cool bad boy type. So in terms of the character, I guess we'll go ahead and go with the T-800. Now, in terms of abilities, these are a bit more trickier as well, because each one does have their unique abilities. Now let's start with the T-800. Of course, the T-800 is a metal exoskeleton covered with flesh. And doing so on the T-800s have increased strength, they have increased endurance and durability, more endurance actually. Because in the film he takes a lot of blows. He gets shot in the face, he gets shot up, he gets blown up twice, he gets into a really bad car wreck, he just gets messed up in this movie. And I think he got ran over too, I want to say. Yeah, I do want to say I feel like he got ran over too, but anyways, he takes a lot of punishment in the film. And I like, and going back towards the film Terminator Salvation, the T-800 model that they showed in that, the same thing, took a lot to get him down. Grenades couldn't get him down, bullets didn't get him down, being covered in that melted metal didn't get him down, being frozen didn't get him down. So I like the T-800. It felt like a really unstoppable force in the film. So, especially one of the best sequences in the movie when he's actually in the police station, one of my favorite sequences in the franchise. So, as in that, and plus, he has the computer scans and all of that stuff too. So that was another interesting aspect to the character's capabilities. Now, as far as the T-1000, he's a bit more diverse with his abilities because he's liquid metal. So he's capable of forming shape-shifting, basically, forming weapons with his body parts and stuff like that, melting into puddles, taking people's appearances, the shape of his voice and stuff. Like, he's probably the most diverse of all of them, and it's really cool. Took a lot of damage. I want to say increased strength as well, but I mean, it is metal, so I guess it would be increased strength as well. But the bulk of it is basically shape-shifted. So it makes for some really interesting and really cool moments in the film. One of the best moments in the film, of course, is when he gets frozen in that whatever stuff, and he's walking, and he freezes, and then he breaks apart, and then the pieces melt, and then they come back together and form him again. So that was pretty cool as well. And I love just the damage that he takes in the film. One of the best moments, another great moment, is when Sarah Connor just loaded shotgun, and she's just firing off him, just letting him have it. And then when she runs out of bullets, all of them just kind of heal up. They all heal up. And then he does the thing like with the picture that you see right there. He just like wagged his finger and stuff. One of the best moments in the freaking movie. He was completely badass at that moment. So, shape-shifting and regenerative capabilities, that's something he can do. And the TX, again, shows is pretty much a blend of the two. She is a metal skeleton, but she is coupled with liquid metal. So she has the benefits of both. Maybe not the full maneuverability as the T-1000, because the T-1000 can like melt under the puddle and go in the water and flatten to the ground and stuff. She can shape shift into different people, but that's about the bulk of her shape-shifting capabilities. Now, as far as her computer abilities, which actually beats these two because she's able to take over other machines, computers, actual machines. She has plasma cannons. She has flamethrower. She has buzzsaw. She has weapons within her systems to further aid her in her ability to terminate targets. And unlike the other two Terminators, she's specifically designed not only for assassination and terminating her targets, but also to combat different Terminators, which again goes back to her ability to take over different Terminators. So I think that was a really interesting, really interesting aspect to her character. She has all the strength and endurance of the T-800, and can be just as and be a bit diverse as the T-1000 while having her own little spin into it. Like I said, the plasma cannon, just epic. She is just badass with that cannon. And of course, she got her computer skills and systems and stuff like that, and mimic voices. And she can even talk to like computers and stuff. There was one moment in the film where she's like on the phone and she talks code to the phone, and then she ends up get connected to the internet, whatever, and figuring out the targets that she's going after. So she has pretty bit of diversity to her too. But in terms of the actual capabilities, as much as I like the T-800 and the TX, the T-1000 with the shapeshifting abilities just comes off really cool and it feels like a creepier type of character because of his diversity because of the diversity of his abilities. I mean, you could be in the room and he could be like right down the room, you would not know it. One moment when the guy walks past a little coffee vending machine and thing, he's literally walking on top of the T-1000, doesn't even know it. So there, in terms of capability, I said the T-1000 actually takes the cake on this one. All right. So. Now, in terms of the actual design of the characters, really, the T-800 was pretty I'm on the fence about this. The T-800 looks pretty cool, like the the skeleton design. The T-1000, you just get him. If you see him in his like metal form, he's like just basically a silver version of himself, which looks cool, but isn't like just overly memorable. The T-800 does have the most intimidating of the looks. And I will, like the metal skeleton frame part of him, I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's really intimidating. It's really iconic. In fact, it's the most iconic feature of them. I do like the TX too. I do like the TX creature design because it comes off like, did you ever see that movie Species? And how the chick looked in her species form? That's what she looks like. She has this very creepy, this very like menacing look to her, but in terms of actual like badass, like this thing is like a beast. I would say the T-800 takes them on. And in terms of the character designs, like I said, not just their metal forms, but just the characters themselves, I think that like I said, Arnold's character has this very physically demanding, presence to his character. He looks pretty badass right there. Look at him. And like I said, the T-800 in terms of design probably would take this, but then I would do the TX a close second because the metal form does look pretty cool as well in my eyes. Now, their roles in the actual movie, all three of them do a fantastic job. All three of them are just straight up killers. They're on their way to just doing the thing that they want to do. They're unstoppable. They have really good moments. All three of them have really good moments in the movies that they're featured in. And I like them as main antagonists. And I felt them as main antagonists. And you have to get away from them. None of these people are a joke. And like I said, I know a lot of people don't like, but I think it's a good movie, and I think it fits into the main story. And I like Kristanna Loken, Kristanna Loken. I always mess this woman's name. I say Kristanna Loken. Let me mix some words again. But I think she did a fantastic job, and she, as a Terminator, was brilliant. She's brilliant, and I feel like I said, going back to, I wish that they would have used her feminine wiles a bit more in terms of her Terminator people, and I think that would have made for a more efficient Terminator in her eyes, because use her womanhood, use her sexuality to terminate. But nowadays people think that'd be a bad thing, even though it actually makes sense for the story. So I think like I said, in terms of the roles and stuff, like I said, I think all of them do a good job. I just feel like hers a bit underutilized. So yeah, guys, in the comment section below, as far as the Terminators are concerned, I'm quite sure I missed the category. Performances. That's what it was. It depends on performances. I always missing something. In terms of performances, I actually think that everybody did a great job. Robert Patrick was a good T-1000. Kristanna Loken was a good T-X, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was an awesome T-800. They all fit the type of Terminators that they are. Kristanna Loken was very serious. I like Robert Patrick. That's what put him on the map for me, actually. Because he's like this scrawny dude. He actually manages to measure up to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and of course Arnold is this big dude, and they all just pull off like the seriousness of these characters, like really good, and really good in their own little ways, and I really like that. Kristanna Loken, I never really saw her like sexy like that, but I actually think she's sexy in the film. Maybe it's the leather outfit that she's got on, but I think she does a fantastic job of being a Terminator. When I went back and looked at the features, special features and stuff like that, one of the things that I did look up was, her trying to be the Terminator, and how she had to act, and how she had to look, and how she had to move and things like that. And I was like, okay, she's got it on. She's got it on point. So, and the casting and performances to me were actually brilliant in all three films, as far as the main antagonists are concerned. Alright then, guys, so in the comment section below, let your boy know which one of these awesome actors or actresses did a fantastic job as Terminator, which one of these Terminators is your favorite Terminator, and also just give me your general thoughts about which one of these badass main antagonists is the best one. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. And remember, guys, hitting that like and hitting that share does help the channel out. It does help the channel to grow, so we really appreciate your efforts, and we'll definitely catch you guys later. All right, Narik Chase out.